Hi, and welcome to the good side of real estate. This is going to be a little bit longer video about septic systems. I know something totally boring, but I want you to be just aware. I'm actually doing a podcast on life in Northern Virginia. Check it out on Apple iTunes, and it's going to go into great detail of an experience that a homeowner had, actually two homeowners, that somehow this all linked together and this whole picture became clear to me that I feel that homeowners need to know about. Now, it doesn't matter what state you're in, what county you're in, this could potentially be a problem. Let's just go back to a history here a second. The end goal is septic fields are failing, and some counties are installing public septics and requiring people to hook up to those public septics if you're within range, costing homeowners somewhere upwards of $50,000 to $60,000 to do that, and mandating that they do that. And this is why. I would say 20 to 40 years ago, or however long this has been going on, let's just, in this example, we're going to use a county where this is actually happening right now, many counties actually in Virginia. Within the last 40 years, I would say, builders have been working with the administration or the building permit department at the local county, and they're in cahoots where the builder and the permit department work together, where the builder gets issued a 1-bedroom or possibly 2-bedroom septic permit for a new construction home that at that time they either don't know what they're building, which I doubt any builder is building anything. Like I know right now, because I'm looking at land to purchase and build on. You know exactly how many bedrooms home you're going to build. So with that in mind, knowing that they know the bedroom count of a home, they still go to the county. Now, just mind you, this is something that's been happening for years, like 20, 30, 40, 50 years, right? The county gets requested by a builder for a septic permit, and the permit department basically works to send someone out, like a septic company, to survey and scope the land and determine, what kind of septic can go in and how many bedrooms does it perk for. Well, the house is not built, so the builder says, well, I'm going to build a 1 to 2 bedroom home. Go ahead and just certify it for a 1 to 2 bedroom septic. That means, and just as an example, to elaborate on that, a perk is identified, how many bedrooms a home perks for is identified by 2 people by law can reside in 1 bedroom. So a 2-bedroom home can have up to 4 people living in it legally, because those people will flush toilets and do dishes and run wash and shower, and all the water that is considered waste that goes out through the septic field into the ground around your house where the field is located. It seeps into the sludge, stays in the tank, and the extra water goes out into the ground, and the ground has to be able to absorb a certain amount of water in a certain time period. And that's how they determine, is this capable of handling a 2-bedroom septic, a 2-bedroom home, 3-bedroom home, 4-bedroom home, 5-bedroom home. And they basically determine what does the ground and the soil look like, feel like, and how fast does water seep into it, and is it in a position where it can handle let's say a 5 or 6-bedroom home. But what's happened over the years, and if you're having your septic field, if your septic is failing, watch this video, okay? Just watch it through to the end. In fact, go listen to my podcast about it, even more in depth. So the builder says, just give me a 1 to 2-bedroom certification for a septic field, okay? Certify this lot as a 1 to 2-bedroom. Now, in their mind, of course, they're trying to save money, because if they installed a 4 to 5-bedroom septic, that's a much larger field, and it's a much larger tank, and it's a much larger robust pump that's going to pump the stuff out to the field. So they want to save money. This is a cost-cutting measure. So somewhere along the way, and this is a fact, somewhere along the way, the builders are in cahoots with the permit department to allow a 1 to 2-bedroom septic only to be approved, knowing that the home on there is going to be a 4, 5, or 6 bedroom home. Proof of this is you go to the counties and look up the lawsuits in these counties. In Virginia, outside of Virginia, probably a lot of states where people have moved into a home that's like a 5-bedroom home, 6-bedroom home, and they realize that they have a 1 to 2 bedroom septic, which means they can only have technically 4 people living in the home. And anyone more than that, they would have to actually expand their septic, which could be upwards of $60,000 to $70,000. So they're kind of screwed. They may just deal with the 2-bedroom and buy it anyway. They may have to expand, or they may file a lawsuit against the builder for selling them an $800,000 home with 5, 6 bedrooms on a 1 to 2 bedroom septic. And you're like, I don't really care about this. I don't really have to deal with this. Well, one day you, your family, your parents, your coworkers, your best friend is going to buy a home, and the number of bedrooms that are in the home don't match the number of bedrooms septic that's certified. And you're going to be like, what the heck do I do? So all this, let's say this has been going on for 40, 50 years. Well, what happens is by allowing the builders to put all of these larger homes with more bedrooms on a 1 to 2 bedroom septic, they've overwhelmed the land. And so the land can only handle, let's say in a county, so many homes at 5 or 6 bedrooms each. But if for 40 years, they really only show 2 bedrooms, a 2-bedroom septic, just the land is getting overwhelmed. It wasn't made for that. The soil wasn't good for that. So they're building everywhere they could possibly build. And they're doing this. And I'm not saying every builder, and I'm not saying every county, but it is happening, because you can look up lawsuits that pertain to that. So this happens for 40 years. And then the fields, the land, the soil starts basically not being able to handle all these sewage that's coming out of the house and seeping into the ground, and it's starting to like come up onto the ground, or it's backfilling into the home. And then some counties, one specifically, Fauquier County in Virginia. Yes, that is the name if you're not familiar with it. And they then say, well, we're going to install a public sewer system because the septic fields are failing, and the area and the soil is not able to handle all the building and the construction and the growth. So we need a public sewer system. So they install this, who knows how many millions of dollar septic system, all right, that's public. And they run the lines through the county in certain areas. And then they say, everyone that is within range of this public system has to hook up. And if you don't, you pay a non-usage fee. And if you don't, not only are you going to pay a non-usage fee, but if your septic anytime in the future fails, which it's probably guaranteed to fail because of the thing I just told you this happening, if your septic for any reason fails inspection when you go to sell it, or your septic field starts backing up, or anything happens where it starts degrading and you find that you need some type of septic company to come out and do work, they're going to be notifying every single septic company in the area and say, if anyone comes to you and something fails, you got to tell us. The public health department is going to mandate that they hook up to that public sewer system. Now, you're talking about hundreds and hundreds of homeowners where their septic might fail at no fault of theirs. Okay, sometimes if you're flushing a bunch of stuff you shouldn't flush, of course, that could be your fault. And are told at this moment, I'm sorry, we cannot replace your tank. We cannot repair your tank. We cannot repair your septic system. We cannot repair your field because you're within range of this public system that we installed, knowing that over time that this field's going to fail. We installed this. This is like what I'm thinking. This is what they're thinking. They're planning for their own faults. They allowed that to go on for years, knowing that the soil would be overwhelmed, planning for it, installed public sewer systems, telling everyone they have to hook up, which is $30,000 to $50,000 to $60,000 to hook up to some of these public sewers. Yes, it is. To go from a septic system and well water to a public water and sewer hookup will run $30,000 to $60,000 because there's called tap fees involved. There's electricians involved. There's plumber involved. There's a septic company involved. They have to dig up the old tank and crush it. What's called abandon it. They have to run new pipes. How far your home is from the road will make a difference. The point is that now there's hundreds and hundreds of homeowners being told if something fails, they will be required by the health department to hook up because the field and the soil and the land in the county can't handle it. And it's a health hazard. It's a health hazard that they themselves caused by by getting in cahoots, by allowing things to happen for 40 or 50 years in that county that homeowners had no idea about, by allowing builders to build 6-bedroom home McMansions on a 1 to 2 bedroom perk property. And somehow that getting through the permit department, no one seems to know how, which way, why, nothing. Everyone's got a big blank stare like a deer in a headlight. But it was done. It was done to save money for the builders. And the builders building more made more money for the county. More homeowners bought, home prices went up, and everyone made money. But in the end, this is a calculated plan by a lot of people to allow homes to be built with more bedrooms than the septic can handle. Years go by, the fields fail, the soil's bad. The county can't handle it. We're overgrown. We could put in a public sewer system. You got to hook up. Well, I don't have the money. Well, they thought about it so much that if you're one of those people who say, I just don't have the money and my septic system failed, what do I do? They actually have grants, at least in the state of Virginia, that they have put thought into. There is a grant that will pay for a large portion, not more than 50%, but around 50% of the total cost of hooking you up to public sewer and septic. I'm sorry, public water and sewer. Because in the very beginning, they knew, we know that we've allowed builders to build too many homes, larger homes than what the septic allows. We know that the land's failing. We know we've done this, so let's go ahead and put in a plan to make more money. And that money is, we're going to mandate everyone to hook up to public. And by the way, if someone's really poor and they're living on food stamps or they're living on Social Security, we're going to have a grant that's going to help them pay at least 50% of it. Now, the total hookup for you to convert from septic to public in a particular area depends on the tap fee. In Fauquier County, it's $31,500. Insane. Actually, I looked at every single county in Virginia, and it is the highest tap fee in all of Virginia. Even Arlington, Fairfax, Alexandria, Loudoun, none of them are more than $10,000 tap fee. It's insane. It is a money-making scheme that started 50 years ago. I just think people need to be aware of it. If you have a failing septic system, if you are being mandated to hook up to public sewer, if you just recently bought your home, please go contact the health department and find out what your septic system at your home is perked for. If it is perked for the number of bedrooms that you actually have in your home, you're good. If it's not, find out if you're within 5 to 6 years of when you bought your home, because you have a lawsuit that will get through and they will require the builder to pay for the difference for what they saved when they built the home to what they actually should have put in for you to live there comfortably with 2 people per bedroom. 6 bedrooms means 12 people can live in the home. The septic system has to be perked for 6 bedrooms. If it's perked for 1, 2, 3, or 4, then it will not be sufficient. And this whole thing is happening right now, and I know it's happening in other counties, and I just feel like people need to know about it. If you live in a home right now and you have a septic system, just email the health department, okay? Ask for your septic information, and it will tell you how many perk bedroom your system was built for. Just be knowledgeable, be aware, do due diligence. If you're thinking about buying a home, also, this is an absolute must if you're buying a home with a septic field, that you have to pull this before the contract gets ratified. It has to be a contingency. It's contingent on the health department results showing the bedroom perk matches the bedroom of the home. So just something to think about. Hope you guys enjoy this. Drop a comment if this has happened to you, if you're dealing with this in the state of Virginia or in any state. And we'll see if we can't get a news crew out there to interview you, because they're on this. They are on this. If it affects more than 100 people in a county, they want to present the news to the public. So I will see you guys in the next video.